Have you ever noticed sometimes the biggest story isn't the one standing right in front of you? Often it's the one standing off to the side. That's what happened this week. The White House announced a brand new program called the Freedom Haulers Initiative. They're asking military veterans to step into the trucking industry. On the surface, sounds like it's a great idea. And honestly, there's a lot about it that I like as well. But that little voice in my head kept asking me one question the whole time I watched that announcement. Why now? After 33 years in trucking, I've learned something. When somebody suddenly starts recruiting drivers, there's usually a reason. So I went digging, and what I found isn't just one reason. I found 3 reasons. 3 competing factors, all colliding at the very same time. And by the end of this video, you're going to see what all 3 of those factors are clearly. So what is the Freedom Haulers Initiative? Let's start with what the program actually does, and forget the political speeches. If you drove heavy equipment while you were in the military, the government wants to make it easier for you to turn that into a civilian CDL. Makes sense to me. If you've already proven you can handle a big rig, handle big equipment, why make you start from scratch? Service members can also start working toward that civilian CDL before they even leave active duty. They doubled the qualification window for the military skills waiver from 1 year to 2 years. More states now recognize military driving experience, and the GI Bill, it can help you cover any additional training costs you might have. One major carrier already announced plans to hire around 1,400 veterans because of this program. I don't have a problem with any of that. Helping veterans build a civilian career is a good thing. But programs like this, they don't appear out of thin air. They happen because someone sees a need. So the real question isn't whether this is a good program or not. It's what created the need for this program in the first place. That's where it gets interesting. I'm not here to debate politics. I'm here to talk about trucking. And here's the reality. A lot of commercial drivers suddenly disappeared from the workforce this year. Some couldn't meet the English proficiency requirement. Others had licensing or legal issues. Whatever the reason, they're no longer behind the wheel. Now think about what that means. It's not just one driver calling off work. It's thousands of empty seats all at once. Freight doesn't stop needing to move. Distribution centers don't stop ordering product. Fuel still needs to get delivered. Those seats have to be filled by qualified people and fast. That is exactly what Secretary Sean Duffy talked about during this announcement. For years now, we've all heard the same headlines. Robot trucks are coming. Self-driving trucks are going to replace drivers. I believe autonomous trucks are coming to a highway near you someday. Technology always moves forward. I've watched the industry change more than I ever thought it would. But here's the question that stopped me in my tracks. If driverless trucks are really ready for action, why is the government working this hard to recruit human drivers? That doesn't sound like a trucking industry ready to replace people with robots to me. So I stopped reading the headlines and started reading the numbers. Numbers don't have opinions. The company everybody talks about is Aurora. So I pulled their actual financial report. In the second quarter of this year, they lost a staggering $270 million in 90 days. Aurora's goal by the end of this year is to have about 200 autonomous trucks on the road. 200. America moves millions of truckloads a year. 200 trucks is like a pebble in the ocean. I broke down exactly what's at stake with this technology in a video called Driverless Trucks. Who pays? You can check that one out after this video if you so choose. Now, here's the third piece to the puzzle, and it's the one that nobody has mentioned. Midterm elections are coming up in November, and freight moving smoothly through this country isn't just a trucking issue, it's an economic issue as well. Empty shelves, delayed deliveries, rising prices on everyday goods. Those are the kind of stories that show up on the news right before an election. And no administration wants that story running. Keeping trucks rolling keeps the economy running and looking steady. And a steady economy is exactly what any White House wants heading into a midterm election. So when you put it all together, this isn't about helping veterans on its own. It's not about empty seats. It's about keeping the whole economic engine running smooth. Before I tell you what I think this all adds up to, you should know where I'm coming from. I spent 33 years in this industry. I drove the roads. I dispatched the drivers. I brokered the freight. I've watched Washington, D.C. roll out plenty of programs that sounded good on paper, but in the end, just couldn't pass a smell test. So when the math on this one doesn't sit right, I'm going to point it out and say so. Now, I'm not saying anybody in Washington, D.C. pulled Aurora's earnings report and said, hey, the robots aren't ready. Let's go find some veterans. Nobody said that. I'm not going to pretend they did. But look at what we actually know. We know the industry lost a lot of drivers this year. We know freight still has to move. We know an election year needs a steady economy. And we know the company leading the driverless charge is years away from working out the kinks, and they're burning cash trying to get there. Those aren't opinions. Those are facts. Put those three factors together, and one thing becomes quite obvious. This industry still runs on people, real people, making real decisions. Computers are getting smarter, no question, but judgment still matters. Common sense still matters. There's a big difference between being a real truck driver and being a steering wheel holder. Anybody can steer a truck down a straightaway. A real truck driver shows their worth when something goes wrong. That's something a balance sheet can't measure. So what's the takeaway? If you're a veteran, take a serious look at this program. Not because I said so, but because opportunities like this don't stay open forever. Right now, this industry needs people who know responsibility, discipline, and how to show up and get the job done. If that's you, this might be worth looking into. If you're already a truck driver, don't let the headlines scare you. Every few years, somebody says, trucking's going down, trucking's about to disappear. I've been hearing that for a long time. I'm sure you have too. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Before you go, I've got a free download for you. It's the ultimate pre-trip inspection checklist. No cost, straight to your inbox. I put it in the link in the very first pinned comment below this video. So scroll down, check it out. All right, my friends, keep the shiny side up and the greasy side down. Take care for now.